What's going on, guys? Zach Klinger here with another Ranch Armor install guide. Today we'll be covering our flatbed side rails. This process is applicable to our 4, 5, and 6 foot flatbeds. This being a 6 foot, as you see, it's the same concept except for the smaller ones, a little bit less parts. You'll kind of see what I mean whenever we get a little more in depth to it. For now, let's kind of go over everything we got. So obviously we got our left side rail, our tailgate, and then our right side rail. Moving on to the hardware, these are our securement brackets right here. These will be going underneath the side rails. More on that when we get there. These 1/4 by 1s with flats. These are going to be for your Roto packs. So 2 per Roto pack, 2 Roto packs per side, 8 bolts total. Getting into the securement bracket hardware, it's these 5/16 18 by 1 with flat washers, obviously 4 per side because we have 4 brackets per side. Moving on to the hinges, so we have our shouldered Allen bolts with our 2 bushing washers, and then we have our outside flat washers and nylon lock nuts per our normal jive here. Going over some quick toolage, I like to use my 1/4 inch ratchet and then also my 1/4 inch driver. You'll need a 1/2 inch shallow socket and a 7/16 shallow socket, and then what size is this? Don't know it off the top of my nugget here. A 3/16 Allen. So, well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, and I will show you guys how to begin setting this up and then kind of how we're going to torque it all down so everything works smoothly. So for starters, let's go ahead and get our side rails set up. So what these side rails are going to do is they're going to ride right in this void right here along your frame of the flatbed. Just kind of set it on there like so. She should stay in place by herself. She ain't gonna go nowhere unless you got somebody walking around that's clumsy. For now, just leave it as is. We'll get our other side set up. There we go. Just like that. And now what we'll do is we'll start putting on our securement brackets loosely. Remember that. Everything's loose. Do not go getting tight on me until we're getting to it, all right?
Is there any sort of like orientation these are doing?
Yeah, so as you see, bracket's gonna go up like so that way those little hooks will catch that outer edge of the flatbed. And now you're just kind of feeling for that hole in there. If you got a big lifted rig, obviously look underneath her. So there's no set placement for these as far as I know, because I've had some of them fit, you know, in a different hole, vice versa. What I try to do is I try to nail the holes that got the biggest gap, because obviously we're going to need to shift it forward or backward to nail our tailgate adjustment. So just kind of pick the holes that give you the most adjustment. There's a lot of hole options underneath here. If you ever look at the underside of your rails, it's just, you know, to kind of fit different applications. You know, some people are doing different things with them. So we kind of give those options to our customers. Just gives them a little more flexibility as far as how they're installing them, what they're installing them on, so on and so forth. Now, obviously, yes, for each flatbed, we have the side rail, so 4s, 5s, and 6s. You know, you're not going to put, you know, 6 foot side rails on a 4 foot bed. That's just kind of goofy. Maybe you will. I don't know. I'm not you. Remember, like I said, just by hand, you're just finger tightening it up there. Don't go too crazy on it. Nothing like that. We're not going to gun them down. We're not really even looking to snug them. They're just there to retain this. That way that side rail doesn't fall off when we begin putting on our tailgate. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the tailgate part of this. This is kind of what's going to set the side rails in motion, essentially, their final resting place. This is also going to set up your tailgate so this way it operates smoothly and does not come in contact with the rear of the bed. Oh yeah, 110%. I mean, I have gone out to a customer's property and done this on location before, so, and it was just me, single Pringle. Had no help. So once you get that shouldered bolt through, you'll take your 2 plastic washers, kind of slide them on just like that. They will fit. It's just a matter of finagling them. This would probably go a lot better if I didn't hold the tailgate in my hand, but I'm stubborn. Now this guy's just going to kind of slide on like so. And now we're going to take our washer and our lock nut and get those on. Remember, just by hand, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's get our other side. This way we're not fighting gravity here. Like I said, shoulder bolt going through. Now that we got our tailgate roughly on, obviously we see everything's at a square and whack. So if you want to come over here, so what we're looking for here is if you look straight down this crack, you will see the rubber bumper of the tailgate. We kind of just want to get her a little bit closer. You can see there's a nice gap between the tail lights and the actual tailgate, and we're just going to want to mimic that same thing right on this side, right? So now that we kind of got that set where we want it to, now we'll begin working on our side rail adjustment, right? And like I said, nothing's getting tight yet. Cool your horses, we're getting there, I promise. So obviously we see that side super in, this side super out. Ideally, when you're setting these up, what you want to do is just kind of give her a couple little love taps, just like that. That's why we leave everything loose. Now, for some of you guys that don't have bare paws, you might have smaller fingers, but really all you're trying to do is just run your fingertips and feel that rounded edge of our side rail. You don't want it sticking out. So for example, how I'm fitting almost a quarter of my fingertip, that's not really what we're looking for. Kind of looking just to feel that edge right there. Just really wanting to feel the edge, and that's it. So you can pretty much put your fingernail kind of right up on the rail of the bed itself, and just run your fingertips. You're really looking just for that first little bit of your phalanges. Kind of feel that out. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side, which in theory, absolutely right. For those of you that just said it after I said in theory, this side should be the same. So the only way that's going to kind of differ is your fronts are going to be a little different, but that's not a big deal. You just kind of bring her out ever so slightly, and then that'll keep that fingertip feeling all the way down. And like I said, it does take a little bit of time because you want to sit there and adjust it. If you're a perfectionist like I am, you want it to be even at every corner. So, and there we go. So now that we got those pretty much aligned and squared up, we're just going to go ahead and snug down a few of those. I do use my little 1/4-inch driver. We're not gunning them down, just snugging them down so they don't have an option to move. This way, both sides are stabilized, because now we're going to be getting into the tailgate, securing the tailgate down and making sure that the latches operate smoothly and that we're not coming in contact with anything. Now that we got that done, let's go ahead and take our 1/4-inch ratchet, and we're going to put that on this nut back here, and then we're going to secure it with our Allen. And we're just going to kind of gently tighten this. You're really going until you start feeling pressure. All right, as you see, it just kind of barely comes into that nylon. That's really what you're looking for. If you go hulking it down, it's not going to pivot smoothly. So now we make sure our gap maintained all the way through, not touching the tail lights. Let's give it a little test journey here. Very nice, very nice. So now if you have a gap like this, so this is all going to depend on adjusting these brackets right here. The more you finagle with it, the better off the gap will get. Because as you can see, nice and smooth there. But so as you see, after finagling, got that gap a little bit tighter right there. So like I said, it's all just kind of playing with it. Obviously, as you guys saw beforehand, it worked the way it was. So yeah, once you verified that you got smooth tailgate operation, just like so, it's not coming in contact with anything, you're good to go, man. All right, guys, so getting into the last part of this install here is the Roto pack mounts. Obviously, you guys see on the side, we got 4 different spots, depending on your rail length of where you can mount these Roto packs to. Those of you that are not familiar with Roto packs, they're a nifty little gadget in the aftermarket world. Pretty much allows you to mount fuel cans, shovels, anything like that. They got a bracket for pretty much everything, and they make a product for just about everything. Pretty well-versed company, so that's why we incorporated these Roto pack mounts to our flatbed side rails, so this way you can run whatever you want to on the side of your rig. So let's get into it. This is what those 1/4-20 bolts are for. This is really, really simple. They're just gonna go in these little thread certs that are in the side of the bed. And then go ahead and hit them down with the 1/4. And that's it. And then you can just kind of repeat the steps. You can have one here, you can have one here, you can have one here. So it's up to you guys on how you guys want to fit it. And there you go. Easy breezy, beautiful. Cover girl. Okay, so relatively simple install. Once you guys get done finagling it, get it exactly square and how you guys like it. As always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and if there's anything you guys want to see specifically, or if you guys got questions for me, leave a comment down below and we'll get to it. Thank you guys for watching.